Happy Thursday, everyone, and congratulations to our future graduates on May 27th. And I hope you're doing well. You're getting through finals. What's today, Thursday?
Yes.
One more day in finals week. But I am your president, Dr. Daria Willis, and this is our last installment for this semester of Conversations from the Couch. Each month, I'll invite special guests to join me on my fabulous pink couch with our sparkly pillows as we dive into honest conversations about various topics that affect our community. So today, joining me is Rachel Carver. Rachel is an awesome student, an awesome woman, a phenomenal woman, an awesome mother who has just really broken the glass ceiling, and I just can't wait for you all to hear her story. She will be delivering our 2022 student commencement speech next Friday, May 27th. And let me just say that this is the first time that the college will have an in-person commencement since the COVID-19 pandemic. So Rachel, would you mind sharing with us a little bit about yourself with the audience today?
Sure. I'm Rachel Carver, as she said. I am 32 years old. I am a mother of two kids. My son actually just had a birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday.
I know. He's 7, and I have a daughter named Jade. She's 3. I have been working in insurance for, I think, the last 8 years or so. And then I decided to kind of change my career path a little bit.
Okay.
Well, a lot.
Insurance too. What are you doing now?
So now I was a culinary student, specifically in baking and pastries.
Wonderful.
So I am a pastry chef now, thanks to HCC. Well,
Yay.
Officially, right?
Really?
I've been baking my whole life. My grandmother is actually the entire reason why I am here, because she was the one that started me with baking when I was like a really young kid. And I also have a home bakery business where I sell cakes online through my Instagram and Facebook. And that's Ray Cakes Bake Shop if you want to follow me. I'm injured right now, so don't order anything. Give me a little bit of time.
But you got your own business.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you. I'm so excited to have you here. So real quick before we get started, audience, I just want to let you know that we will have a Q&A session at the end. So if you have any questions at all for me or Rachel, please comment and put them in the chat. So we're going to jump right in because Rachel's story is phenomenal. Before we went live, we just kind of got an opportunity to know each other. And I'm just so proud of you because, you know, I'm a real advocate for student parents. And as a student parent myself, I was 19 years old when I had my daughter who's 17, and shout out, she'll be graduating from high school soon. Yay.
Congrats to you on that too.
Thank you. Okay, like that's mine. That high school diploma is mine too. Like the blood, sweat, and tears it took that child to get there. But anywho, you know, I remember what it was like to have a baby, go through college with this kid, trying to make ends meet. I wasn't as smart as you and get my own business because I cannot bake or do anything creative for that matter. But can you just talk about what it was like for you to be a student parent? What resources did you find at HCC that really helped you get to this point?
I had a ton of resources here at HCC. I actually, this is my second time graduating from college. I went and got a bachelor's degree from Virginia Commonwealth prior to this. And if anybody out there knows, once you get a degree, one degree, you can't get any financial aid anymore. So all you can really apply for is scholarships, and HCC has a ton of donors.
Say that louder.
They have a ton of donors.
So thank you to our donors.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because the entire time I was at HCC, I had a full ride.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think I paid the first semester maybe for like my knife kit. And then after that, I went to the admissions office, and I actually had my kids with me. And then somebody told me about the Career Links program at HCC, which is for single parents, male or female, might I add. And they helped me to get access to other scholarships, outside scholarships, and they actually have a really cool like lending library. So all the books that I needed, I got from them. So I didn't even have to.
So all the textbooks that you needed for class,
Yes.
you got through CareerLinks?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Shout out to CareerLinks. Maureen, thank you.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So what advice then can you give students who, because if we back up a bit, you're a student parent, and if we think about COVID, and when all that happened and shut down, so you got your kids who are how old? At the time, how old were
Well,
they?
at the time when I started, my daughter hadn't even turned 1. And my son was 4, or no, he had just turned 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So things have shut down. Everything is virtual. Maybe it's 4 or 5.
Something.
It don't
They're
make a
3 and a
difference.
half
They
years
was
apart.
little.
Yeah, they were
Okay.
little.
So things have shut down. The world doesn't know which way it's going to go. You still are in these classes. What was that like?
That was actually horrible.
Mm.
Because I'm a cake decorator now. That was like my interest coming to HCC. And COVID happened during my cake decorating class.
Oh. So how do you decorate a cake and learn about all that virtually?
So it was a lot of YouTube videos and then a lot of using your own kitchen at home to make recipes and things that the teachers gave us. And then it was so funny because, you know, with baking, there's pictures all over the internet, right? So how will they know that I made this, right? So we had to send pictures with whatever we made with our face, like, and so you know.
Here's my pound cake.
Yeah, I made this, you know. And it was cool because of that experience of having to like use my own kitchen, I realized like a lot of the stuff that I was doing in these commercial kitchens at school, I can actually replicate and duplicate them at home.
Wow. And did that help fuel your business over time?
It did. Because of the pandemic and me having everything virtual, I didn't have as many opportunities to, you know, hands-on do the things that I wanted to do as far as like cake decorating goes. So I kind of just started decorating them myself. COVID happened, I think we shut down in like March, right? So funny thing, I have a bunch of birthdays in my immediate family from April to May. So just from that, I was making cakes and posting them, and the response I was getting led me to making cakes for other people for hire, not for free.
Not for free. Know your worth.
Yes.
Okay?
I learned that actually here very early on. They always said, you know, people are not just paying for your product, but it's your time too. So you have to always account for your time and
your time and talents.
yeah, the teachers always said, don't undersell yourself.
Excellent. So you're a mom, you're a student, you're a business owner, you've got 2 jobs.
I do.
How do you do it all? Because I'm tired just
I wish
listening to
I
that.
had a real answer for that because I don't know.
Okay.
I like to work when it's something that I'm passionate about. And like my day job, not saying that I'm not passionate about it, but it does pay the majority of my bills. So I'm not going to ever, you know, say, hey, okay, don't pay the bills. But I wanted to add something on so that I can make sure that I'm living in my purpose. And when
That's right.
I do that, I feel like more fulfilled, and it doesn't really feel like work to me
Right.
because I'm also having fun doing it.
So I can imagine you having fun baking cakes. Because let me tell you, I tried to bake during the pandemic, and it didn't go out too well.
No?
Didn't go over well. No. You know, my kids would eat it, but I made like sugar cookies and muffins. It was kind of hard.
Oh, that's
A little
because
too sweet.
You might have baked it too long.
Might have baked it too long, might have put too many ingredients in, and then I really figured out this is not my jam. So big ups to you for making that happen. So my next question is, commencement is next week,
Yes.
and you are the student speaker.
I am.
Oh my gosh. Rachel Carver is our student speaker for the 51st commencement at Howard Community College. Can we get a sneak peek of your speech? Like, what are you planning to talk about? How are you going to encourage the students now that you've made it, what's next?
So, my speech is a little bit of a reflection of my own story and the different avenues that I've been, that I've traveled in to get to this destination, because every avenue of it was kind of different from like, the first degree versus, with no kids versus this time with 2 kids and 2 jobs and like, how do you do it? And just being able to pinpoint where your motivation comes from. Because not everybody's story is the same.
Right.
And my story has shifted a lot through the whole process of just from high school to now. And so I want to be able to talk to like all the students because I've been there in different capacities. So, everybody's motivation kind of comes from a different place, and being able to pinpoint that, I think, is important so that you can get to the finish line if this is not going to be your last time or in whatever goals you have in the future.
You give me chills. Stop it, Rachel. Oh my gosh. That's so amazing. I mean, because, and the part where you say that everybody has a different path, right? And we all have a story. We all have to walk that line. And it's not easy.
No.
I mean, no one knew that the pandemic would happen. And then you got kids, and then you still have to work and pay the bills. And then earlier, before we got on, you said, I had lost one of my jobs, right?
I did.
So, you lose a job, but you still have to pay the bills and make ends meet. I mean, what an incredible story. So do you feel like, one of the taglines for the college has is you can get there from here. And we also say that, we believe in providing pathways to success. Is that, in no shade to VCU, I know that that's an excellent institution as well. But my heart is in community colleges because we take everybody from where they are. How do you feel about that?
I absolutely love this community college. I kind of wish like I would have done this route first, because not just the resources, but it's smaller, and I've gotten to know a lot of different people, whether it's staff or other like students, and just the connections that I've been able to make, the people that I've been connected to because of the college. I did not get that from a 30,000 plus university. No shade either, but it's just a different experience altogether. I have truly enjoyed my time. I'm a little sad to be leaving, to be honest. But I'm happy because I did it and like I finished it. And that was like the most important part for me, to like finish what I started.
And I'm sure there will be opportunities for you as an alumni, whatever. We in family we used to say alumni, but anyways, that's not the grammatically correct way to say it. I'm sure there will be opportunities for you to come back and pay it forward for other students.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in the hospitality and culinary areas. So now I think we've got time. We're going to wrap it up so we can start talking about some questions that we're getting from the audience. I'm sure that we've got people who are really inspired by your story. You are truly inspirational. So remember, throw your questions or comments in the chat for Rachel or for myself. Send them all to Rachel because she's got all the juice on what it means to be a student, to move forward, to persevere. And I know you've got some awesome stuff and things to say to the audience. So what do we have, Julia?
Well, there's a couple of comments that I just wanted to share. So first things first, someone wanted to know if you had a website for your business.
Not yet.
Okay.
Right. I know. Right now, I've only been selling on Instagram and Facebook actually. So if anybody out there is like
say that handle again. What's your?
It's Ray Cakes Bake Shop.
Spell that.
RayCakesBakeshop.
Ray Cakes Bake Shop.
Ray Cakes.
Ray Cakes. My bad. See, I just renamed the whole thing. Ray Cakes Bake Shop.
Yeah. My goal, like once I finished, I actually ended up getting another job in the field. So it kind of like deterred my plans from like setting up the whole website already. But if you are like me and you want to make some money, you can do it just like from the basics of social media, and you'd be surprised how successful you can be without even a full functioning website. Like my DMs were popping, you know.
DM her now.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're popping. She can't look right now because she's talking, but we'll fill them up with the cake.
Yeah, and that's how I was rolling for, like, I've been rolling since then.
Wonderful.
But I do have a website. It's not live yet. I'm also cheap, so I'm going to design everything myself.
Yep.
I don't want to pay for anybody to do something that I can do myself.
But the important thing that you point out is the use of social media. You use the power of that tool to push your influence and your talents out there. So that's amazing. What else do we have, Julia?
Well, Chef Milburn says that he's your biggest fan.
Aww.
And he's going to miss you.
I'm going to miss you too, Chef Milburn.
Hey, Chef.
And there was also another sweet comment that says that they feel like a person and not a number at HEC.
Absolutely.
Can you expound on that a little?
I definitely feel like a person here. Like, I've had, some classes that weren't necessarily my cup of tea. For example, accounting. I know everyone thinks, oh, you're a chef, you should be great at math. No. I have become, and I grew into that, but it wasn't ever like a natural thing for me. And so the teacher saw that I was like having some issues in the beginning, and she suggested, maybe you should go get a tutor. And so I did, and lo and behold, this girl got an A in accounting. Okay.
One time for the A in accounting.
The first time, I didn't have to retake it.
Oh, you better than me. Girl, I took college algebra twice.
Yeah, I took statistics like 4 times.
And now all I do is deal with numbers.
Right? Me too.
Go figure. I guess you do need math, huh?
You do.
Shout out to all the math faculty and accounting folks out there.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So an A in accounting on your first time.
Yeah. That shocked even me. Because when I tell you, it really wasn't my thing. And, now, certain things just come natural. And I'm like, okay. And then having a business, those little tips, they help you. So everything kind of comes full circle. Everyone kind of thinks, oh, you take this and that class. And I may not use it, but no. I think I've used every single thing that I've learned here and applied it to my real life.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And, having teachers like recognize things in you and your work, or like maybe is something going on at home. You have that because the classes were small. Like my teachers know me. Like my teacher just commented.
Just shouted you out on Instagram, right?
So, and even the staff, like financial aid, I think they know me too. If I call up there.
Yes, Rachel, how can we help you? Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Do we have anything else in the chat? I know we do.
Yeah.
Drop them in the comments, y'all.
Yeah, someone commented about our support programs and how great they are, including our Step Up program. Did you take part in Step Up?
I didn't. I had a friend who did Step Up. Yeah, Miguel, if you're watching, hi. Yeah, I wasn't in that program, but she spoke very highly of it when she was in.
Awesome.
Yeah. You have a lot of fans on here.
Oh,
okay. Saying your cakes are gorgeous and you're a star.
Thank you.
So.
Love all the glow. Yes, yes. So
you.
I want to go back to the tutor comment though. So did you find your tutor on campus, and what was that process like?
So that was pandemic. So we virtually did tutoring.
Wow.
Yeah.
From someone at HCC.
Yeah. And she was great, and she actually had 6 kids.
Oh.
So, yeah, and the fact that she was tutoring me, I was just, kind of taken back a little bit because I know how hectic my house can be with just 2, and she had 6. But we did it via Zoom. I had like a scheduled time every week to go over, homework or questions and stuff. And so, going over my homework, learning the concepts. When I would go to take my test, it was like everything was like, oh, I remember we talked about this, because it's a little bit different when you're, especially in COVID, when you're taking a class like accounting virtually with no teacher like in front of you, and then like they give you a lecture, but I'm gonna be honest, sorry teachers, who really sits there and watches all those YouTube videos that you guys spend all this time, creating for us? Because like, my attention span was just like, so I needed that interaction of like, okay, this is what it means. This is how you apply it.
Right.
And if I didn't have that tutor, that interaction, I don't think I would have had the same experience.
Now, earlier before we went live again, you shared a diagnosis that you had, and how did that help you once that came? Do you mind if I?
Yeah, no, that's fine. So yeah, I have ADHD, and I honestly think that it's not talked about nearly enough, because the first time I went to school, I actually flunked out, found out that I had ADHD and got back in school, and then once I did organizational tutoring and I started taking medication for it, I was able to like start task and stay on task. It wasn't that I felt like I was incapable of doing anything, but starting a task and then staying focused enough to like complete, that was very difficult for me. And sometimes you don't necessarily know, like I kind of thought I was broken a little bit, but I wasn't broken. I just need a little medicine.
You need a little help.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong that when you know that there's a problem or an issue, seeking the support to get the help, taking whatever the medication, whatever you need, right? And you're right, we don't talk about that enough. So how can we end that stigma, especially in higher ed? What do you think?
I think that if there's students that are like struggling and you find yourself like continuously struggling, and that this is something that you want and you're trying to apply yourself, it's just and people have used the word procrastination, and they think that's what you're doing, but you may not be actually doing that. So to like being able to like identify a student that is maybe struggling and say, hey, maybe there's something else going on here, and there's resources for you to figure out things, because we want you to do well. But just being able to see that, because you can kind of tell, like if you're in person, right? Like if somebody's easily distracted, and just having people staff that know the signs and to encourage other students to seek resources that will help them. Because once I got that diagnosis, I tell people this all the time. It was like a G-shock to the brain. And then all of a sudden, this student that wasn't really always a good student is now a great student. I would never think that I would get straight A's in a semester. And it happens naturally now.
Such a wonderful, oh my gosh. I get all the feels. I'm sure that y'all are getting them. To give me all the heart emojis and stuff for Rachel, and just your perseverance, your hard work. Do we have any other questions or comments in the chat?
We have, it looks like 2 more questions.
Okay.
If y'all are ready. So Chef Milburn is, one, would like you to keep in touch and let you know,
of course.
let him know what you're doing. And he also asks what your 5 and 10 year plan is.
Ooh. So my 5-year plan, I don't have necessarily a 10-year yet, because I want to get something done by 5, and then I'll worry about the other 5 after that. So
take it in phases, right?
Okay. So now that I have had a job, I just started a new job, actually in the field. I've never worked in food service prior to this. So I want to do some sort of wholesaling of my product on like not a huge scale, but like maybe like on a local scale. I'm trying to formulate 1 or 2 products that I just manufacture like on small batch.
Okay. Okay.
Not like super commercial or anything like that, because my whole thing is taste over look. But now I know how to make things look as pretty as they taste. So I want to be able to incorporate all of that, and also, you know, kind of like on a small scale, because I've been doing like big cakes. So I don't know. I'm between cakes, cookies, and cheesecakes at this point. But
I just love all of this.
You know,
the movement.
Yeah.
And, I mean, feeling the vibes of the cakes, cookies, and cheesecake.
Yeah.
On the smaller locals. You go,
yeah.
girl.
So yeah, that's my goal. I do want to get
I love
into
that.
to wholesaling. I wanted to do bakery at first, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like long term, I'm gonna have that in the works by 5 years from now.
Amazing.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, we've certainly got a seed starter for you of fans.
Right?
They're pouring in. So last question, I think is a
Alright.
good one to end on. Do you have any words of wisdom for those of us who are just starting their journey at HCC?
I would say persevere and don't give up. You know, you never really know what is going to come and what types of obstacles are going to be in your path, in the way. And trust me, I've had a lot during these past, I think it was 2.5 years I've been here. But remembering why you started and holding on to that will help you get to the end.
Mic drop if I had a mic in my hand, because that's amazing. Thank you so much, Rachel.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. I hope that your words will continue to inspire so many of our viewers and those who aren't here today. We're going to throw this message out as much as we can, but hear it from our student speaker, the 51st commencement, and I got to read it off the card. At the UMBC Chesapeake Employers Insurance Arena, Rachel Carver will be there to inspire all of our graduates on what it takes to continue to move forward, to find your pathway to success, right? And then you can get there from here. So thank you again for joining. And thank you all who tune in virtually for chatting, sharing your questions, and to Chef Milburn, big ups to you. Thank you so much for all that you and the rest of the staff do to support all of our culinary students. I had a wonderful time. I hope you did too. Did you enjoy yourself?
I did.
Wonderful. So before you click away, I hope to see y'all at commencement, and the live stream will be available of this show at howardcc.edu. And finally, this is the last episode for the first semester of Conversations from the Couch. We'll see y'all in the fall. Take care. Have a great summer, and I'll see you soon.